Acharyalu, Professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, St. Peter's Engineering College. So here today we are going to talk about the root locus diagram, which is very important to find the path tested by the tips of the phasor, as well as it should be extended for the path test by certain points as per the certain equations. So now we are going to talk about the locus diagram, which will be the two cases we need to identify. One is the variable resistor and the fixed inductance, and vice versa. That means the locus diagram is basically we say that the locus of the extremity of the current phasor, which is obtained for the different values of a variable elements like resistance, inductance, and capacitance. So therefore here this is basically what is the locus diagram, which is defined as the locus of the extremity of the current phasor, and which will be obtained for the different values of RLCs. So here basically the locus diagrams are very much useful in analyzing the behavior of an RLC circuits when the one of its parameters should be varied. That means you say that the only RLC parameters, any one of them should be varied with respect to the constant, keeping constant the frequency and the voltage, right? So here you have to find the characteristics of any RLC parameter with the keeping constants of the voltage and frequencies. So here now we are going to see the two cases we need to observe. That is, first we have to know what is the magnitude of the phasor current. Phasor is in circuit, which is depends on the values of the RLC and the frequency of supply. So now we will find the locus diagrams for the RL series circuit and the RC series circuits generally. First we need to observe and we need to find the RL series circuit current locus, which is the two cases we need to identify. That is the fixed resistance and a variable inductance. There is we say that the second case is the variable resistance and the fixed inductance. That means once you have to take the resistance should be fixed and the inductance should be varied. And another case is the vice versa. So now we are going to talk about the locus diagram. The path traced by the terms of the current are in terms of the current and the voltage phasors. The frequency of excitation source is varied is called the locus diagram actually. That means either the graph in between the voltage or the current with respect to the frequency, right? So the locus diagrams can be drawn either it can be calculate the impedance, admittance, and the reactances of any RC, RL, and RLC circuits like, and to have to obtain the locus diagrams of these circuits, in which the one element should be varied and other element are keeping constant. So this is the basic concept of the locus diagram. So now we are going to talk about the current locus for the fixed resistance and the variable inductance. This is for the RL circuit. Already we did a lot of problems in transient RL circuits and the steady state response also. We did a lot of work on that. Now we are going to draw the locus diagram for the given RL circuit with the fixed resistance and the variable inductance. In this connection, just we have to observe that the circuit have fixed resistance and the variable inductance. Variable inductance means it arrow mark is there in between the inductor, so it may be varied, but the resistance will be a fixed position, you say. So here as per the diagram, you say that, let you say I is the current flows through that and applied voltage is V, already know that. So from this, what is the impedance of the circuit? The total impedance of the circuit is the combination of resistance and inductance reactance. So therefore here the impedance which is equivalent to the only you have to take the two. One is the magnitude, other one is the phase. So therefore generally used to take the total impedance which is in a magnitude wise, then you used to take the combination of these two resistance and inductor. So under root over R square plus XL square, this is the total impedance of the circuit. Now you used to take what is the current passing through the inductor coil, which is indicated by applied voltage V by the Z total impedance, say like that. So V by under root over R square plus XL square. So here already you know that for an RL circuit the current is a lags behind the applied voltage. Already know that, already we discussed that the voltage is leading in inductances and capacitance is leading in currents. But here it is with respect to the current, so current lags behind the applied voltage, which is 90 degrees apart generally. So therefore the theta is equivalent to the tan inverse of XL by R. And you used to take, this is the phase angle. So now you are going to take what is the magnitude which is in a current. So therefore Imax, which is equal to the V by under root over R square plus XL square. So from this you say, if you will say the variable inductance means the inductance may be varied. If you will take the case 1 and the reactance of the inductance which is equal to 0, then the current through the circuit is the total current which will be passed through the resistance only. So therefore the Imax is equivalent to the V by R. And if you take the phase in the applied voltage, when XL is equivalent to the X magnitude, you say that, so the current through the circuit is 0 and the phase angle is 90 degrees. The current lags. Okay. So therefore it is the inductor coil. Already know that the property of the inductor, what we have, the voltage in a lead with the current, and current is a lag with the voltage. Already know that. So here in this scenario used to take generally from the figure shown the RL circuit, we can observe that the tip of the current vector represents a semicircle here. Just to observe that here the figures, the below figure, just to say the as XL varies from 0 to infinity. So here the figure to here the first figure, you say here how the phasor notation of the current, the total current is the combination currents of the IR and IXL like this generally used to take. That is the current phasor of the RL circuit, where you say that the cos theta is equivalent to the what actually, cos theta is equal to R by Z. So therefore R by under root over R square plus XL square. Already you know that what is the current through circuit V by Z, right? So therefore here we used to take the impedance phasor diagram just to observe that the R square plus XL square equal to Z whole under root of R square plus XL square equal to Z. So similarly used to take from this diagram the sin theta is equal to XL by Z from the phasor diagrams. So used to take the impedance triangle again. You need to take, that is the RL and XL, which is the theta is there. So therefore the resultant impedance, that is equal to root over R square plus XL square. Now we are going to take the active and the reactive components of the current I, which are IR and IXL respectively. Already know that. So and they are giving the IR is equal to the I cos theta, and you say that the what is cos theta, already we found it in the previous equation. So cos theta equal to R by under root over R square plus XL square. So that should be applied here. I cos theta, here IR is equal to I cos theta. So therefore IR by under root over R square plus XL square. Or you say that what is IR actually, V by Z. V by Z. V by Z means, that means R by into R by Z, that's equal to the VR by Z square. So therefore that is called the IR. Now you used to take IXL is equal to minus I sin theta. So minus I into XL by under root over R square plus XL square. These two equations link relates to the IR and IXL, already know that. And the squaring these two equations and add both, then you will get the magnitude as well as phase. The ratio of these two equations will get the phase. If you will take a phase angle, okay, I will discuss. So now the adding of these two, so IXL square plus IR square, which is equivalent to the IR whole square by R square plus XL square plus I square XL square by R square plus XL square. So therefore, so here you say that the denominator is same, so LCM is same. Then the above equation, it should be reduced to that the V square R square plus V square XL square whole by R square plus XL square whole square. That's a V square is common. Then numerator will get the R square plus XL square by R square plus XL square whole square. Square and that is cancelled. So therefore V square by R square plus XL square is left. So already you know that the VR is equivalent to the IR, already you know that. So from that relation V into R by root over R square plus XL square. Similarly, VL, which is the voltage across the inductor, IXL, which is again V by under root over R square plus X square under root into of XL. By using of these two, you have to get the total voltage applied, which is the VL plus VR like that. So therefore again used to take here IXL square plus IR square. So already know that Z is equal to root over R square plus X square. So R square plus XL square is equal to the Z square. Now instead of that you may apply the Z square the in denominator side, then V square by what is the here VR by IR, you say that is called the ZR, or you say that the Z square whatever it may be here. So now you used to take the IXL square plus IR square minus V IR by R, which is equal to 0. Therefore adding V by 2R whole square on both sides, then we will get the resultant equation. So the IXL square plus IR minus V by 2R whole square is equal to V by 2R whole square. So therefore this is in the form of x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square like that. So used to take here this is the equation 3, whatever we got. That equation represents that a circle whose radius is V by 2R. So therefore a center points you say here, and the center points is 0 comma V by 2R, because you know already this is the circle representation. So therefore the points which we have, the center points you say 0 comma V by 2R, then 0 axis, 0 on the x axis and V by 2R on the y axis. You say that now this is the current locus can be drawn in the figure. You say here this is the V2 V axis is there here, and the inductance, how the inductance will be varied from right side, which is equivalent to the L equal to 0, and the center point the L tends to the infinity. So therefore the V by R and V by 2 are like this, which will be root locus diagram, which represents what we got the parameters of the current locus, right? So you say that that is the method 1. If we coming to the method 2, this is a shortcut method, which is the impedance. We have the circuit already given, the RL circuit is there, fixed resistance and variable inductance. So here this is the circle equation, already know that x square plus y square equal to r square like that, where you say that x which have the center point, you say that x1 and y1, then the equation relates to the x minus x1 whole square plus y minus y1 whole square equivalent to the r square. That is the resultant equation, where you say center point which is having the points are x1 comma y1. So now the method 2, which is the impedance, already know that r square plus xl square whole under root, and the current you say that V by whatever the impedance is r plus j omega L, which is called Z, you say that generally. So now you are going to take a magnitude of the current, which is a V by Z, that is a real part. Just you will take V by under root over r square plus xl square. Now we will take the phase, already know that minus tan inverse of xl by r, so therefore you will take omega L by r here. So these two already you know in the previous analysis. So now you take the xl variation, that is where it is a 0, when it is comes to the infinity, what is happen. So here the magnitude of the current when the xl equal to 0, then it tends to the V by r. the phasor angle of the phase angle which is equal to 0. If you coming to the XL tends to the infinitive, then the magnitude comes to 0 and the phase angle comes to the minus 90 degrees. So therefore here, and the you used to take the diameter which is called the V by R, and the radius is half of that. That means the V by 2R. So here the imaginary axis which indicates the voltage variation, imaginary values of I, you say that the voltage axis is there here 0 and 90 degrees. So therefore it is inductance and the current is always a lagging position. So therefore this is the equivalent root locus diagram, which is having the this is the 0 and minus 90 degrees. So like this is in the coordinate fourth coordinate, it gives the root locus diagram. So now another one is the first one. Already we observed that the fixed resistance and variable inductance. Now we are going to talk about the variable resistance and the fixed inductance. So first case, already we observed that how the root locus will change, and what is the graph of the root locus diagram. They consider a circuit with a variable resistance and the fixed inductance here. So here in the series circuit, we say R and L will be both are in series, then the applied voltage is V. Then what is the current passing through the circuit, which is indicated by V by Z. What is Z actually? Under root over R square plus XL square. Now we know that for the RL circuit, the current is lags behind the applied voltage by an angle phase, which is the tan inverse of omega L by R, already know that. And here the tan inverse of XL by R or omega L by R, whatever it may be. So here the magnitude which is indicated by V by under root over R square plus XL square. If we come into the two cases, when the R comes to the 0, what happened? R comes to the 0, then the current through the circuit is in the phase minus 90 degrees, and the magnitude which we have V by XL. Right, XL is nothing but what? Omega L. So V by omega L. If the R tends to the infinitive, then the current through the circuit is phase angle is 0, phase is 0, and the magnitude is also comes to 0. So therefore here this is the variation of the values of phase and the magnitude with respect to the R values. Once it tends to the 0, it tends to the infinitive, the values will be vary automatically with fixed inductance. So here from the figure A, you say that we can observe that the tip of the current vector represents the semicircle. So we used to take the active and reactive components of the currents. You say that IXL and IR respectively. You say that which gives these graphs are it relates to the IR and IXL here. So here the cos theta which we have R by Z, and here sin theta which we have that the opposite side by hypotenuse. So therefore XL by Z. Now you take IXL is the I sin theta and IR is the I cos theta. So now we are already know that the current passing through the circuit, which is the ratio of the voltage to the total impedance. So here therefore the IXL which is equivalent to the I instead of I, you say that V by Z. Then the first equation you say I sin theta is there, I instead of I V by Z into of XL by Z, which is equal to VXL by Z square. So or otherwise you used to take actually IXL by under root over R square plus XL square, whatever it may be, because that is the resultant equivalence. So IR is equal to V by Z, already know that, into R by Z. So V into R by Z square. This is about the relation of the current in resistance as well as the inductor. So now the squaring of both, then you will find the magnitude as well as the phase of the circuit. So now the both will be what we call the squaring. Then IXL square and IR square, the combined both, then we'll get the results is V square by R square plus XL square. From the above equation 3 you say that in the previous one. So therefore now from equation 1 IXL is equal to, already know that V into XL by Z square. So Z square already know that what is Z square? Z square equivalent to the V into XL by IXL. So therefore now VR is equal to IR and VL is equal to I into XL. So from that IXL is VXL by R square plus XL square under root. So this is about the voltage across the inductor and the voltage across the resistors what we have. And you used to take the R square plus XL square equal to VXL by IXL. So from this the V by R square plus XL square is equivalent to the IXL by XL. Now substituting these two equations, where 4 and 3 equations, what we got the 4 and 3 equations. So IXL by XL which is equal to V by R square plus XL square, and similarly I XL square plus IR square equal to V square by R square plus XL square. So now you take the equations what we have, that is the IXL square plus IR square is equal to V into IXL by XL, because we got the equation number 4 which is the V square by R square plus XL square which is equal to IXL by XL. So now you used to take actually instead of V by R square plus XL square in the equation number 3 in the right hand side, instead of that IXL into IXL by XL into of V. So therefore we got like this, and it should be changed to the left side. Then IXL square plus IR square minus V into IXL by XL equal to 0. Now adding this V by 2XL square on both sides, then we will get the equation should be changed little bit. Then this is the equation what we have, the IXL square plus IR square plus V by 2XL whole square which is equal plus 2 by whole square plus IR square which is equal to V by 2XL whole square. From this relation IXL minus V by 2XL whole square plus IR square which is equal to V by 2XL square. From the above equation it represents the circle, and the whose the what is the V by 2XL is the radius, and the center point which we have the this center point which we have the 2 V by 2XL comma 0. Now you have to see this is the V by 2XL comma 0. The current locus can be drawn, which is in figure A, already you know that. So this is another shortcut method what we have here. So just to observe the truth locus of the RL series circuit, this is the minus 90 degrees which we have, and this is the R equal to the infinity and R equal to the 0. So now you used to take here, this is the RL circuits, the current locus. Now I is equal to V by R plus J omega L, and similarly the same method you are applying here. Directly you used to take a Ri with the Li link up. So the resistance is 0, then the current passing through the circuit is a pure that means through inductor only there is a V by omega L, and the phase angle is minus 90 degrees. If the R equivalent to the infinitive, then there is no what we call the magnitude that's equal to 0, and angle of current which is in 0 degrees. So which is placed in the fourth quadrant, and the same diagram for the both methods. Just you will observe that here R tends to the infinity at center point, R tends to 0 at the y-axis, which having the minus 90 degrees with respect to the what is the 0 axis, right? So this is the radius which we have the V by omega L or V by XL like this. So this is about the root locus diagrams of the two conditions RL circuit for the RL circuit for this the fixed resistance and variable inductance, and fixed inductance and variable resistance. The two cases we observed that. now we are going to take the another topic, that is the RC series circuit, which we are going to draw the root locus of this. In this also you say that the fixed resistance and variable capacitor and current loops for locus for the variable resistance and the fixed capacitance. The similar mode of operation we need to do that, but here the little bit difference. So that means the now we are going to consider the current locus for the variable resistance and the fixed capacitance. This is a case 1. What we are going to do is the similar way. So here instead of inductor we used to take here the capacitor. So therefore the total impedance of the circuit, which is indicated by under root over R square plus XC square, and the current passing through the circuit, the ratio of the applied voltage to the total impedance, which is the V by under root over R square plus XC square. And here this is a little bit different and the capacitance with respect to the inductance. Inductance current is lags and capacitance current is leads by the voltage, so by 90 degrees. So therefore here when the R equal to the two conditions you used to take, when R is equal to 0, the current through the circuit, which is the I magnitude, which is equal to the V by XC, because R is 0. So therefore this is the phase angle, and the phase angle which we have theta equal to tan inverse of 1 by omega CR, which is equal to the 90 degrees plus, right? And if we will take the R equal to the infinitive, so therefore the I magnitude is 0 and the phase angle which we have, which is also 0. So therefore this is the condition for the RC network, where the R should be varied 0 and infinitive. So therefore it is most of the time it is in the first coordinate it will come, because the leads the angle of the current with respect to the voltage and the capacitance. Now the active and reactive components of the current, which we have the Ix and Iy respectively. So therefore Ix is equivalent to the that means the I sin theta, and Iy is equal to I cos theta, already know that. So therefore here the I is equal to the V by Z, the ratio of the total voltage applied to the total impedance. But here sin theta is the XC by Z, and cos theta equal to the R by Z, because cos theta relates to the pure resistance to the total impedance, and sin theta is the capacitance reactive to the total impedance. So here Ix is equal to V by Z into Xc by Z, like that. So therefore the V into Xc by Z square. Similarly, what we did for the inductor coil, here also same. There the XL by Z square, here Xc by Z square. But you will take on the y-axis, you say that which is the V by Z into R by Z, which is equal to the V into R by Z square. So the equation 3 and 4, which is relates to the Ix and Iy currents, and the squaring of the both the 3 and 4 equations, and add up these two, and you will get somewhat the magnitude, that means the Ix square plus Iy square, which is equivalent to the V0 square into Xc square by under root over, I mean Z square, you say that directly. So V square into R square by Z square, which is equivalent to the V square by Z square, we got it. This is the final answer for the equation number 5, or V square by R square plus Xc square. Both are same, Z square or R square plus Xc square. And from the above equation 3, we used to take the Z square equivalent to the V into Xc by Ix. So now you need to take the R square plus Xc square, Emma, the Xc square, and the V into Xc by Ix, which is the equivalent to the V by R square plus X square, which is equal to Ix by Xc. Now used to take generally, this is the substitute the above equation 6 in equation 5, and we get the Ix square plus Iy square, which is equal to V into Ix by Xc. So therefore the root locus is generally, it may come into that the first coordinate, which we have the leading of 90 degrees, and used to take the resistance values, which is R equal to the infinitive at center, and which is R equal to 0 at the max point of the on the y-axis, which we have the radius of V by Xc. So therefore by using of the circle equation, already know that what we did, the same thing will be replica here in the RC networks. So therefore, by using of that, here Ix minus V by 2xe whole square plus Iy square equal to V by 2xe whole square, like this. This is leads to a circle equation x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square equal to the r square. So the center point of this, which is equivalent to the 0 comma V by 2xc. This is the center of the what is the xy axis. So just you have to draw the root locus like that, which is the first coordinate itself. This is about the variation of the resistance with fixed capacitance. So that is the method 1. If you are coming to the method 2, you say that here the current locus which we have the I is equal to the V by R plus 1 by j omega c. Already know that. This is the combination of both the resistance and capacitance values. So now used to take I is equal to V by R plus 1 by j omega c. So therefore that is a pure current passing through the circuit, which is the ratio of applied voltage to the total impedance. So the angle of current phase, which is the tan inverse of 1 by omega CR. So magnitude, which we have the same what we did in what we call in the RL circuit, the similar way we need to find the magnitude I, which is the ratio of V to the total impedance. So R square plus 1 by omega c whole square under root. So now you take the R value should be varied, and how the magnitude of current and the phase will be varied. If you take R equal to 0, so therefore the only capacitance reactance will be at this moment you say the V omega c, and the angle is 90 degrees leading. If you come into the R equal to the infinitive, which is at the center point, you say that then it leads that the current is 0 and the angle is also 0. This is the method 2, shortcut method to find this. Here the V omega c by 2 comma 0, which are the center points, right? So the next, the fixed resistance and the variable capacitance. What is the fixed resistance and variable capacitance? So here they consider the circuit with the resistance is fixed and capacitor, variable capacitor is there. So therefore XC value should be varied now. The same similar process, the impedance is equal to R square plus XC square here. So therefore the current passing through the circuit is V by R square plus XC square under root. Now the applied voltage, the leads the applied, what is the current which is in leads actually here, because it is a capacitor which is leads the applied voltage by 90 degrees generally. So when the XC values is varied from 0 to infinity, then the magnitude which is indicated here, only a pure resistor is there. So therefore when XC equal to 0, then the magnitude V by R automatically, and the I phase angle, which is the tan inverse 1 by j omega c by r, then you used to take the tan inverse of 1 by omega cr, it is generally. So therefore 90 degrees is there, plus 90, that is the leading. If we will take a capacitance reactance which is equal to the infinity, then the magnitude tends to so I magnitude is the infinite automatically, and from the equation 5 of the previous one, which is Ix square plus Iy square is equal to V square by R square by X square. So from the equation 4, you say that in the previous topic, just you will observe that Z square equal to V into R by Iy, which is R square plus X square is equal to V into R by Iy. So again you rewrite the equation V by R square plus X square, which is equal to Iy by R, which is equation number 8. This equation number 8 will be substitute in equation number 7. So that means the V by R square plus X square, instead of that Iy by R, then you will get the resultant equation. You say here, this is the Ix square plus Iy square equal to V into Iy by R. Adding these the V by R 2R whole square on both sides, and you will get the circle equation will become a circle equation. So Ix square plus Iy square plus V by 2R whole square, which is equal to the V into Iy by R plus V by 2R whole square. Now you used to take here the Ix square plus Iy minus v by 2r whole square is equal to v by 2r whole square. The above equation results a circle who becomes the radius is v by 2r and the center point you say that 0 comma v by 2r. So this is the method to obtain the resultant when the fixed resistance and variable capacitance. So this is one of the method. Now the second method shortcut which we need to take actually how it should be varied. So here you need to take the capacitance C value should be changed as XL, XC value should be changed whether it is comes to the 0 then the phase angle is 0 and the magnitude is 0. If you take a C value tends to the infinitive, so therefore the magnitude is infinite and leads the angle 90 degrees, which is available in the coordinator 1, first coordinate itself only like this. This is about the XC values should be varied, that means 0 to infinity when the fixed resistances is there. This is the RC locus root locus diagram, which is the I magnitude and phase, which will be taken to the account. Now we used to take a summary of the root locus diagrams just to observe that this is about the RL circuit, which is and the fixed resistance and variable inductance, which is the diagram indicates like this, which comes to the fourth coordinate and it is on the x-axis. If you come into the variable resistance and the fixed inductance, which is also in fourth quadrant but it is on y-axis. If you will take the RC circuits, the same replica here. So the resistance and fixed resistance and variable capacitance, then it is in the first coordinate with the x-axis, I mean the axis of the capacitance varies, and the variable resistance and the fixed capacitance, which is on the positive y-axis like this. So this is about the summary of the root locus diagrams. So I hope that all of you please trying to understand. I hope that everybody has understood in this lecture what we have discussed in this lecture, which is a very important for your examination point of view. Definitely it will come in your examinations.